There is nothing that will make me go back to the US if I don't have to. That's how ugh, I am with it. That's extreme. Okay, let's start over. You should be very scared about what's happening in the US right now. We've long given up our democracy, but seeing our free speech threatened in this way with what happened with Jimmy Kimmel, and the strangest thing about this administration that I cannot wrap my mind around. Like, this is the great gaslight. This is the great gaslighting of America is happening right now, where everything that they're telling you about, oh, well, this is the reason why we're doing this, and everything that they're trying to say is the very things that they pushed for years ago. And they want hands off, they want free. I don't know what I'm saying. You should be very scared about what's happening in America right now. This won't be a long video. I just have some thoughts about what is happening with Jimmy Kimmel and seeing his show get taken off air over, I mean, it's late night TV, it's stand-up monologues, it's banter, it my gosh. I, the thing is, it's like not shocking, but it's like infuriating. And this is me who is removed. So I can't imagine still living in the country. That infuriates me to this degree. All these videos that I'm posting about, creating your escape plan, getting out of the US, leaving, um, it's not for fun. It's not. If you see what I was posting in August, my comfort zone is social media, entrepreneurship, digital money, how to start a business, creating digital products. Like, I could talk about that all day. Telling people to uproot their life, this is new. I've always encouraged people to travel for leisure, but now this is for life. And it's feeling a lot more serious. And when I started to have friends reach out in the last 3 days, friends that have prominent business, big houses, they're doing well in the US. Like, they've made it top 1% of the 1%. And they're like, actually, yeah, nah. It's fascinating how everyone is slowly but surely realizing that to stay is to accept the corruption that's to come. And many people are saying, like, Donald Trump will not leave the White House until he dies. Like, he has a plan to stay the president until he passes away. Like, that is his ultimate goal. And a lot of what people said was dramatized as Project 2025. It's not that serious. It's literally all happening. I don't know what it's like. I can't imagine, because I do know what it's like, but I can't imagine moving forward, waking up in a country where I don't know where my neighbor stands. On a regular basis, if you are in another country where the politics are just business as usual and the corruption is like corruption happens in every government, but the corruption happening in the US is so uh it's almost like it's insulting. That's the word. It's insulting because it's as if we're not intelligent enough to see what's actually happening before our eyes. A lot of the corruption happening in other countries, it can feel subtle, it can feel random, it can feel kind of par for the course. Most politicians around the world, they become lawmakers to pad their pockets. Like, this is like kind of like a standard. You can expect that most politicians are in it for the money, in it for the financial security. How can I, yeah, secure my best interest for myself and my family and just make sure I can die a wealthy person? That is the global standard for corruption in politics. In the US, it's like racist, misogynist. Like, there's these layers of microaggressive behaviors and actual vile, divisive foolishness. that becomes like mandated. And you're like, this can't be land of the free where? America is, it's the biggest joke, the biggest scam, the biggest lie. They have gotten away for how many years? Do you remember as kids? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, mandating kids to pledge allegiance to a country that they don't realize is corrupting them from day one. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that it's gotten this bad. I'm disgusted that it'll get worse. And I'm fearful for the people that have no choice but to stay. And again, many of you have commented that you can't leave. Like you have worked too hard. You've got elderly parents. Your kids are a certain age. It just doesn't make sense. And I absolutely respect that. And I know that, I mean, evacuating 365 million people, like, it's just not going to happen. And there are people that also want to stay because they do love what the country is becoming. And what I'm starting to realize that there's this interesting divide, right? Because Christian nationalism is now becoming parallel with what a lot of the laws and the government is trying to get us back to. And as a Christian myself, I'm like, oh, this is what white people must feel when like white Trump supporters and like racist white people like make the headlines. It's like, how do I separate myself from this group that I identify with, that I am inherently a part of? And as a Christian, like watching all of these Christian leaders and even pastors mourn Charlie Kirk, I'm like, what is happening? You can stand for Christian values without being an evil person. That feels like such a low bar to cross. To just embody the very thing that Jesus stood for, love. Of all the commandments, his top two, love him and love others. Baseline, bottom barrier, like that is basic Christianity 101. Love God and love others. So to know that Charlie Kirk, 50% out of two, you're one for two. I don't know. Like it just seems his hatred for other people that were not like him, that could not benefit, that he could not benefit from. That is, you do not, yeah, I mean, I can go on, but it's just fascinating. We There's another scripture that talks about the very way that you judge people on earth is the same measure that God will judge you um, after you die. So I'm like, oh, so the higher your bar for deeming people worthy of love, worthy of acceptance, worthy of celebration, worthy of humanity, worthy of basic respect, if your bar is so high for other people, that's the same bar you're going to be measured by. That's not me, that's Bible. That's biblical. So, I mean, we all have a judgment day to face, and ain't nobody perfect. Lord knows we are all flawed and full of sin. But if you build your life and your legacy is divisive, self-righteousness, um, condescension, I don't know how that deserves a loving legacy and memorial, Christian or otherwise. Yeah. I'll say this for a final time. What you make of your future is personal. It is deeply personal. The choices that you make every day for now or for life, you now have to be that much more intentional about who you choose as a partner if you decide to have kids, if you decide to take this corporate job, if you uproot your life to another city, all of these decisions are going to be hard. And I don't want to put it lightly that like, yeah, just up and move and get out of here. Take it a month at a time. Just try because you don't know what you don't know. And if you rather stay in a familiar hell than an unfamiliar potential heaven, that's on you. But I want people to take more ownership of the options they have. I know it's not just about leaving and escaping because we can't all escape because there are citizens of other countries and we can't flood their streets. And it just, the US, yeah, we can't be housed everywhere. But I do believe that there's going to be a lot of people finally choosing themselves in this season, and it will be hard. Many of you maybe will be parting from family, dear friends. It's it's going to be hard, but I don't think that you need to continue to suffer in a society, in an environment, in a country that is literally making you sick emotionally and physically and spiritually. I will always do what's in my best interest, and then I will look out for others out of my own abundance. But if it's tale as old as time, put on your oxygen mask first. I put on my oxygen mask by leaving once I realized, wait a minute. And if y'all watched the video, I don't know if it was on YouTube. I did a weekly video diary all of 2024. But there was one week where I was watching a sermon by Pastor Mike Todd at Transformation Church online. And he's literally, it was live streaming. And he cuts to the camera. He's done with his congregation, cuts to the camera. And he says, one of you need to move. You've been contemplating, but like, it's time. God said go. And I was like, is it me, Jesus? I was like living in this bubble. I feel like I was living in the sky, this beautiful high-rise apartment. I decorated it to like the ultimate place. Like I felt like this is it. I've made it. This is all I want. I actually don't desire home ownership. I feel like that's another trap. We'll make another video for another day. But I didn't desire home. I didn't want that much stuff. I needed just enough space. I like the convenience and the safety and security of having 24/7 concierge. Um, Even living in a suburban, I witnessed three homicides outside of my building. This is one of the richest neighborhoods in the city that I was living in. Three homicides, point blank, gun range, execution style, outside of my building. That was like, and mind you, I normalized that. I normalized that. I was like, oh, well, this is America. I guess it's to be expected. And that wasn't enough to get me to move. Isn't that crazy? Like when you're so, again, the familiar hell, it became so normal for me to just expect violence, killings, murders. I just, just what comes with being in this country. That wasn't enough for me to move. And so I watched this sermon online and cuts to the camera. God is telling you to move. It's time to go. Like, just have like a 2-minute monologue where he's just talking. I'm talking to three people specifically. You know it's time to go. Speak so directly. And I burst into tears because I feel like I had been praying for a sign. I'm like, God, I know that I'm comfortable, but I'm tired of comfort. I know that comfort is actually keeping me stuck. And I know comfort is not all that I'm meant to have in this world. There should be challenge. There should be tension. There should be growth. There should be something that is pushing me forward. But if I stay in this comfortable bubble where I felt like I had plateaued for like 2 years, wasn't really growing, didn't have any goals, didn't really have vision, was just kind of been like, I made it. I'm earning more than I ever thought I would. I'm living better than I ever thought I would. Like, I'm good. I guess this is all I really need. And I wasn't really thinking about how my life is meant to be a testimony for others. If my dream only takes care of myself, I'm not dreaming big enough. If I'm not considering that glow, the light that you live is permissive to other people. People follow you not by choice, but by design. God has designed your life to be one that gives people permission because you are willing to take brave, crazy, scary, necessary action. And all of a sudden, you're hiding. So, like, go do the thing, do the scary thing of moving to a random country and figuring it out later. And when I tell you, a week before my lease was up, I found my condo in a country that I had no plan on living in. It just kind of fell into my lap. It just kind of happened. And that's how you know it's God, when even your best plan can't orchestrate the serendipity of the moment. I was like, yo, this is Like I said in the other video, packed up my stuff in 2 days. I was like, all right, we doing this. Yeah, y'all, it's about to get real crazy. I need y'all to stay prayed up because God is coming very soon. Listen, God is coming very soon. So you might as well spend the last days in paradise, okay? All right, thank you so much for watching. If you are needing help with your escape plan, this Passport to Peace workshop was created with you in mind. We're going to go over three main things. Number one, well, I'm going to reorder it how I put it because there's a couple things. But number one, the country matrix. This one is like, I think it's my favorite thing I've ever created because it tapped into a part of me where I got to use my personal experiences. 100 countries of travel, um, where I've lived in many of them for at least 3 months, 3 months to up to a year, and creating kind of like a system where based on your qualities, your non-negotiables, your values, your ethics, what you love, this is the country that I recommend for you. So I'm very excited to see how people match up with that. Okay. And then we have your enough number. A lot of people think you need tens of thousands of dollars to make it work. But again, a lot of the countries that I recommend, people in the comments are like, don't go there. But I'm like, have you been lately? Whatever media has told you about a place, actually go there. Because many of the places that you all are condemning, I've stayed for 6 months by myself and I felt great. So your enough number. I was broke for most of the times that I was traveling in these countries. So yes, it is a lot more affordable than you think. And number three, lifestyle expansion. I want to help you all learn the language, find ways that you can better acclimate, find community in the places that you want to go to, how to build the next version of yourself so that you're not just existing when you get there. Okay, the link is in the description, Passport to Peace workshop. It's happening on October 1st. Hope to see many of you there. I think there's like 30 tickets left. I don't know when you're going to watch this, but there's like 30 tickets left. I capped it so that I can make sure I can actually answer everyone's questions because, as usual, I will stay on making sure I'm serving every single person in the room. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I will leave you with this video, which the algorithm has recommended for you specifically. Go on and watch it. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.